I saw Teague is on the call, so we'll get to you in just a minute. We'll just go through a couple things. So we'll start with public comment. So is there anyone from the public that would like to make a comment this time? I guess since Dawn is now officially on the board, she's not the public anymore. So we have no public then. So moving on, approval of minutes. I will make a motion to approve the December 2021 minutes. Would anyone like to second that?
I'll second, Paul.
Seconded by Paul. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed, say nay. All right, minutes approved. All right, so Teague, I will now turn the floor over to you. Teague is an Eagle Scout who will be working on a project, a bridge building project. And if you're ready, Teague, it is all yours.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Is there any way I can share my screen?
That'll cost you.
I just made you a co-host.
Thank you.
There it is.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Teague McDaniel. I'm a Life Scout from Troop 30.
Do you have video, Teague?
Pardon?
Do you have video?
I don't quite trust my Chromebook.
All right, that's all right. So when you're presenting to the Board of Supervisors, make sure you can get video so they can see you in your uniform and look official, and you know what I mean? I don't know if you need to move to a different laptop or whatever. But it's all right for us. We can make it without it. Oh, I see you. I see you.
Okay.
But I lost your presentation now.
You know, it gets too bad. My project proposal is to replace the Gagan Bridge with a bridge large enough to hold a riding mower. This project was requested by the township, and I have gotten approval. It approved by my troop. As I said, the township needs a bridge to be able to support a riding mower. This is because the Gagan Trail receives regular maintenance, but the landscaper is unable to get to the other side without cutting onto Appleton Road. Before installing the new bridge, I will remove the old bridge and clear the excess brush. The new bridge will be 8 feet wide and 6 feet long. 16, sorry. The bridge will have to be sloped due to the shape of the hill, but the degree is negligible, 2 degrees. I plan to buy most of my materials from Oxford Feed and Lumber because they offer a 20% scout discount. This gives the project an estimated cost of $700.43. I'm requesting $500 of funding from the township. I have plans such as the Rotary Club to cover the rest of the cost. I plan to do all of the physical project work over one to be determined weekend in March. I will get help from members of my troop and my family. I will request them by mentioning my project at regular meetings.
Can you go back one slide? Could we see? I still see timeline.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, I was just trying to see the list there.
Sorry.
2 by 10. So does this have a handrail or what is the?
It's only, sorry. It only needs a handrail if the bridge is more than 30 inches off the ground.
Mm-hmm. So no handrail?
No.
All right, go to the next one, the one with the list of materials. I was just trying to see in your drawing there. Oh, so you have 4x4s like along the sides in the upper drawing, but not in the lower drawing. That's what confused me. Is that what I see there?
Yeah, that is correct.
So it's like a little curb to keep the mower from going off the sides, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So maybe on the lower drawing, you could add in that curbing to complete the picture, you know? And all right, go to the next one that has the list of materials. So I see your dad sitting back there. If you calculated has somebody calculated the load that you have enough 2 by 10s, I don't know, is it 12-inch centers or 16s that can hold the mower weight?
Yeah, it's going to be 12-inch on center with blocking every third of that dimension. So that stiffens it up considerably.
Yeah,
What was that, Jim?
I couldn't hear what Ted was saying.
Oh, sorry, Jim. The 2 by 10s are going to be spaced on a 12-inch on center with blocking at a third of each run of the length of the bridge of the 16, and that blocking helps stiffen up the bridge more.
No, the concrete blocks will be used for underneath support, correct then? Or are they at the footings at each end? What's the concrete blocks being used for?
Just to keep the bridge itself out of the dirt some, to help spread the load a little bit instead of that. Because if not, it would just be in the dirt. It would just be sitting
So it's,
on, you know.
it's the foundation at each end.
Okay.
Right. Does it have like a ramp going up to it so the mower can ride smooth across, you know, so there's no like bump or step up, right?
He said it's going to match the grade, so that shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah. And then
Should be able to
one
blend it in to the grade once it's adjusted on the blocks there. See that in the photo to the larger white photo, see how it's got a little angle to it.
And those are the actual, we went out to site level and actually shot the grade to see how much of a difference there was from one side to the other.
Okay.
Make sure it wasn't going to be too steep. So that's well within reason.
And this is, were you able to find rough cut? I know you're having trouble. Is this just plain 2x6?
Yeah, we found the rough cut at Oxford Feeding.
Oh, you did. Excellent. That's excellent. I'm glad to hear that, especially if there's a little slope on it. All right, great. All right, so sorry to interrupt. Let's keep going with your presentation.
Well, that was actually kind of it. But
Oh.
one side of it.
So do you know if the Rotary Club gives funding like this? I've never heard that before. Is it, do you have some connection?
One, a little while ago, back in November, I actually got nominated for Student of the Month at Rotary Club. And we were sitting at breakfast with one of the ladies from the Rotary Club, and she mentioned that she would be interested in funding.
That's great.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, did anyone have any other questions or comments on Teague's project?
Yeah, one more. Key, could you go to the first slide? I don't think some of the supervisors will be as familiar with the Gagan Trail.
Okay.
So let me look at the map there on your first slide. Yeah, so the one,
The middle, the red circle.
yeah, with the red circle, it doesn't really tell you where you are. Like, I know that that's Appleton and that's across from whatever that circle is, Crestwood or whatever, but maybe instead of the picture on the left of a sign, you have a location diagram that shows like
Well,
where
that-
you are.
Yeah, that location is halfway between the Kemblesville Post Office and Meadowwood Lane, which is that road going off to the left.
Yes, I'm familiar with it. Yeah. I'm concerned though that the location diagram might not be suitable for some of the supervisors. So is there a way to get one that has like maybe an overall picture of the Ford Farm Trail or the Gagan Trail and then the circle or something?
I could find one, yeah.
Just like a Google, like you did a Google Earth for that one. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is anybody else on the call confused where the bridge is exactly?
I think
I'm not.
if this photo is just a little bit bigger, you just put reference, Township Building, Post Office.
Yeah, that'd be good. I see the
think
word post office.
So,
You could also, on the township website, they have a whole overall map of the Gagan Trail. You could just add that in there if you wanted.
And then put the red circle on that.
Right.
Yeah, that would be easy. Maybe that would be another slide though, so it would be big enough. But whatever. How about Dawn? Dawn, are you familiar with this trail? Have you ever walked it?
A little bit. I know some of it.
Well, could you find it from that circle in this slide? Like, could you walk out and show me where this bridge is?
No.
All right, so she's our test, right?
I know I've never been able to take my mower over that bridge when I cut around the trail. So.
Well, Jim, so you live near here, right? So you got a little
Yes.
bit of an advantage, right? So
Yes.
you don't count. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, that's the same with me. It's like that my neighborhood backs up to the trail. So
Right.
If you
Yeah.
put where the post office is and that kind of stuff, I think that would be really clear.
Well, I think when you have the post office is on there, but when you have the what are we on? Zoom. When you have the Zoom control panel at the bottom, it cuts off the post office.
And it's just make that picture a little bit bigger, Teague, and just call out the details a little bit better.
Yeah. So I like the picture of the bridge. It shows it kind of ratty and overgrown, and I like the location zoomed in. We just need a bigger one to show where it is within the trail system. And you could keep the sign one and add another slide, or just drop that sign picture and make a better one. All right.
No pressure, Teague. It'd just be my mower going across it from time to time.
No, that'd be great, Jim. But we designed it for the
Yeah, it definitely needs a larger bridge
for
there for
Jimmy's.
sure.
We designed it for Jim Durazio's mower, Yardworks mower. He went and measured it. Yeah, and I showed Teague where the bridge is, so I'm familiar with it. I was just I want his presentation to go smooth at the Board of Supervisors, right? That's our goal.
Yeah, it's just the Appleton Road name is tough to read. Meadowwood, the post office, as I said, if you make it bigger, highlight that,
Yeah.
Appleton Road South, Just little tips and tricks like that.
Okay. Anybody else? That's all the comments I had. I think it's a good project. And how about disposal of the old materials? What's your plan to do with the old stuff?
We plan on reusing the old bridge. My dad has a buddy who's also working on a trail, Matt Thompson, who could use the bridge, the old one.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Is that
When-
also on our preserves or is that somewhere else?
That's somewhere else.
Okay.
Could be on one of the.
When do you want to present this to the board?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
When would you like to present this to the Board of Supervisors?
I think as soon as possible.
So if you want to do that for the June 19th,
June.
I'm sorry, Paul, January. The January 19th meeting, we'll need your slide presentation into me by January 12th at the end of the day. Please.
Yeah.
And it's the same place you said.
Where would could I get your email or?
Yes, J. Eastburn, like the east is burning, at Franklin Township .us, like Uncle Sam.
Thank you.
Most helpful is if you could submit it in a PDF format, please.
Okay, PDF.
All right. Well, unless anyone else has any other comments. Thank you, Teague. We look forward to seeing your completed project.
Thank you.
All right. And you're welcome to hang on, but you don't have to. Oh, I'm sorry. Do we actually need to make a motion on that, don't we?
Yep.
Okay. So I will go ahead and make a motion to recommend that Teague proceeds with this project, and we recommend this to the Board of Supervisors.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Jennifer. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, motion passes.
The one thing that I did leave out, please make sure you email it to Greg Sachs too. So just make sure it gets his approval as well before I give it to the board.
Yeah, and I believe you already have my email, so.
Excellent.
All right, thank you, Teague.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely. All right, so we'll move on to old business. Couple just quick updates on some of our projects. The memorial trees, we already went over that they were all installed, all 7 of them. Plaques were ordered, they've come in and also have all been installed. So we're complete with that project as of now. The tree company, Clark Brothers, cut us off for this season, so we can go ahead and pick up if anyone's interested this upcoming spring and continue on if anyone is interested in doing that. I know we also talked about doing the memorial benches, so that's another project that we can kind of pick up or work on during the slower winter months. I know, just a side note, I know there was that one bench over near the tot lot, the playground, that is in need of repair, so that could be a good candidate for possibly a memorial bench.
Say that again. There's one that's broken.
It had like a crack in it. I think it's just from the sun kind of baking it. But yeah, it's the one that's facing, it's on the north side of the lot, facing the parking lot.
Wait, are you saying a slide or a bench?
A bench.
I didn't know there was a broken bench.
Yeah.
Isn't
Yeah,
it
Jeff,
metal? Is it metal or plastic?
I think it's
Plastic.
like, yeah, it's a plastic, and it's just, I think it's just the back of the plastic, right, Jeff?
It's just right around the bolts where it's connected, Paul. It's just baked for 20 odd years out there. It's just time to be replaced.
Okay.
So that's that, memorial trees. Another update on Ryan, who he has completed his Eagle Scout project. Last we reviewed, he had the trees installed. And now he has installed 10 bluebird boxes around Crossing Park. So
how many trees did he end up planting?
he did 4 trees.
So, you know, we just accept his gracious gift of a project, right? And appreciate what he gives us. But, you know, I think it was quite a small project. I was hoping for 12 trees and now we're down to 4.
Yeah.
You know, we're not the board of scouts, you know, that can say whether it was a worthy Eagle Scout project or not. And I don't know if he was in Jim's troop or not, but I was thinking there's nothing we can do about it. If it's 4 trees is all he's going to give us, that's all we get. Right.
No, he's not in my troop because I wouldn't have approved 4 trees. No, that was, and I just won't even go further.
Yeah. All right. So did we pay any money toward this?
I believe we approved money. I don't recall
But-
exactly how much he actually got.
But weren't the trees donated by Clark's, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know. All right.
Yeah.
After,
I mean, I thought
after
about,
the
go ahead.
scouts do a project, shouldn't they maybe have to like write up a summary so we make sure that there's some accounting for the money? I mean, is it possible? I mean, I hate to add work to T because he shouldn't be punished for somebody else.
Well, no, it's the other way around, Jennifer, and Jeff can straighten me out, but we don't hand them a check. It's supposed to be that they send, connect the township with the lumber company or tree company, and then we pay them directly. Jeff, isn't that how it's been in the past?
Yes, sir.
So
Okay.
there's no accounting necessary because we're paying
Okay,
directly
that's good. Okay, so
And
it's not like
and
he's walking around with the money.
with the money, right? And the advantage is then we can use our tax exemption number and get a discount.
Correct.
Because if the Boy Scout were to do it, he might not get the tax discount.
Right. So is it possible that the lumber to build the birdhouses cost $500, or we don't know if we even gave him 500?
No, 500 is just our arbitrary limit. I mean, a Boy Scout project can cost $0 or 10,000. It's up to them, right? They're doing one at the Little League field that's, I would say $4 or $5 grand. So, you know, if we only paid for a little bit, then that's great. We only got a little bit of trees.
Is this the one, I'm trying to remember back, is this the one, I mean, maybe when we first started and I offered for my company to provide gloves and masks and other materials. I never heard from him. I gave him my email address. Is this?
I don't know.
Okay.
I get confused with all the Boy Scouts.
Yeah, I can't remember if this was the one. It seemed like this was the first one, but I never heard from him, so.
Anyway, I think in the future, we should be a little more careful of what we, you know, try to get a more realistic project just so they can make sure they pass their exam, and Jim can help us with that, right? Make sure they get a real project. Anyway, we got 4 trees and 10 birdhouses, so that's good.
Yeah, and I'd like to, I was going through his old emails trying to figure out what the final number was that he asked for.
Well,
The approval process for the project is multiple steps. You know, the scout puts the project plan together and what he wants to do. It goes internal to the troop. for their approval, for their support, for their suggestions. I know we had suggested some more trees along the lines in a bigger project. He finalizes that plan up. It goes to a district representative of scouting who approves or turns it down. There's a big paperwork package that they have to put together, telling what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, what their resources are, the dollars, how they're going to fundraise for it, and then eventually, track all the hours involved in that project to execute and close the project out. So it is multiple steps. All we can do is say, do more. We want more. We can push back and say, no, I think that's a good start, but what else are you going to do for us? Looking forward in the future.
But like Paul said, it's like we just at the end we have to just be grateful for what we got. Like we have no say, really.
Right. Yeah, and honestly, I didn't hear from him once the bird houses were even installed. I had to go out, like I haven't heard from him since. So I went out there just to take a look to confirm that they were actually there. But they're there.
I just don't want our experience with him. I mean, not that he did anything wrong. It's just we don't want it to taint our, our trust in other Boy Scouts. So I think we should just move on.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm very thankful, like you said, for what he did do. It's we can always push for more, but they're doing it. They're helping for a small amount and doing the work. All right, well, I can move on unless anyone else has any comment. All right, so the Franklin Trail map. Mary's not on the call, but she did complete that. She got the information, I guess, from the guy at the county and was able to put together a map. And that has been posted on the township website as well as the bulletin board there. So we made progress now. You can actually see that there's a preserve next door to crossing and that there's trails to be hiked there. I know that, she's still, I guess, going to keep working on other projects, and there's other kind of off trails that aren't on the map. But hopefully, as we go, we can keep updating that map.
And at some point, though, we need to post the maps, right? Put up some signboards. That's the ultimate goal. And then put markers out in the trails.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, right now there's just that little hole in the woods that's right next to the dumpster. It doesn't really tell you. It's not too inviting, and it doesn't tell you.
Hey, let's go head out in that hole by the dumpster.
Yeah. Maybe we could name the trail that.
The dumpster hole trail.
Yeah. But that reminded me, when I was walking there a few weeks ago, and I think somebody brought this up before, there's a sign for the preserve on that fence, the wooden fence by the entrance, but it's facing in the preserve. It's saying like, this is a preserve, but it's facing into the uncut area.
It was installed backwards.
Yeah. So I was thinking it just takes a couple screws. I was going to do it if everyone's okay with that. Just flip it over.
Absolutely. Yeah. Flip it around. They're probably all along the border there, but it's probably nailed in. You'll need a pry bar most likely.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, if everyone's cool with that, I'll try to next time I'm out there, because there's no way of seeing it unless you walk through the uncut area.
So I have just a handful of those signs left. And Jim, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't do that preserve posting. Eric Brindle did it. And I think they put most of those signs on little wooden stakes in front of the trees, and they're mostly gone now. So it might be, the idea was to establish the border of the preserve, right? So having one facing our park isn't as important as maybe having one at the perimeter where it meets the neighbors. You know what I mean? Like announcing it's a preserve, so that when people are walking from the neighbors into ours, they know when they're entering our property, and
Right,
rules apply that are on the plat.
right.
So it's like a project. If you want a project list, would be to walk the perimeter and decide whether or not we need new signs ordered and posted.
Hmm.
And when I posted a few preserves, I just put them right on the trees, just like Natural Lands does. It's just trying to maintain the little wooden stakes just wasn't working.
Yeah, I don't know about up front. I know down at the lower end, they were just put on trees.
That's the way to go. Yeah, and you don't nail it tight, Greg. If you do move that one,
Yeah, we
leave
want
a
them to
little bit of
move a little
gap.
bit and breathe.
Yeah,
Right,
because
right.
as
So it
the
doesn't
tree
pull it
grows.
in.
Yeah,
The same with White Clay Crescent. They were just put on the trees on there too.
right. Yeah, Bamshire, I put them on the trees, and then Goodwin he put on wooden stakes, and then I put them on the telephone poles afterward
Okay,
because there wasn't any trees around Goodwin.
Yeah, they've been up a
Right.
few years.
all right. Yeah, I mean, that's maybe next time any of us there's out there can take a look at the perimeter. I'll try to remember next time I'm walking.
You know, speaking of the trail by the dumpster, it always is kind of interesting to me that we have that wooden rail fence dividing Crossan Park and Franklin, like
Mm-hmm.
we're purposely separating them. And I always thought that fence is not well placed. Like I want it to be inviting to walk over to Franklin. So like
Right.
remove that section of the fence so that the people don't think it's someone else's property, you know, that you can go either side of the driveway. Like what's the purpose of that fence, you know? And
Yeah.
I'm sure it's just a remnant of when the park was built and we didn't own the neighboring property. The fence was put up to keep people from driving around the gate, but now we might think about removing it. Just a thought. It's not an urgent thing, but it doesn't serve a purpose.
Yeah, I agree. It kind of serves the purpose of blocking people from going to the
I'm
preserve.
going out. Yeah.
Yeah.
When there's no fence, you're more likely to wander over there.
Right.
Now, I did see down by the pipeline driveway, a lot of truck traffic was going around the gate by driving through the meadow where you took a picture of Matt's van. Remember that?
Yeah. I saw that as well.
So I walked that trail this weekend and noticed a lot because it was muddy. So the trucks really left a lot of rutting going down in there. And I thought taking that fence and putting it across that section might be more beneficial to keep people from driving around the gate.
Yeah. So you're saying that's the pipeline company that's doing that, or?
No, I have no idea who was driving around the gate.
Yeah. I mean, I saw Matt's car there, but yeah, I saw there's definitely, other times I've walked it, you can tell there's been vehicles driving all over it.
Yeah, I know whoever mows the field, he cuts in his field out right there too. So
Yeah, but this was recently, so it was definitely in the winter that somebody, and I don't know if Matt's been going back and forth
Hey,
there, other people.
Well, the tracks were going down to the driveway. So, Jim, when the hunters go in, like if they kill a deer, do they have to go in that way and bring their vehicle in, or do they go through the gate?
well, I'll admit I went in that way to pick up a deer because I had a bad foot, so I drove all the way down.
Well, I mean that's I think you guys have access to the gate, don't you? Like a key or a combination?
That lock's changed over there. We don't have a lock on it now.
All right. Well, it's just a comment. I mean, I don't really care if a few people drive around it, Greg. As long as it's not up to no good. Like if they start dumping back there, like they used to dump carcasses back there relentlessly and trash. But I didn't see any trash, and I don't know who was driving around. And then to Jim's comment, which was good, that if we do put up a fence, we'd have to make a big gate so that the combine could get through.
So that what could get through?
The
right.
farmers equipment.
Right.
I mean, not a big deal, right? We just put up a 16-foot gate so the equipment can get through.
Yeah. All right. So sticking with Franklin Preserve, just as we mentioned, Matt has started work on that small loop trail in the, I believe it was like that 7-acre parcel behind, or off of that actual paved road there. I don't know if anyone's actually gone back there. I haven't seen how much he's done or where he's at with it, but
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
yeah, I know he's back there doing his thing, and he seems to get things done pretty quickly. So, all right. So next, the trash cleanup day. As we said earlier, we're shooting for the 16th, which is what, 11 days from now.
What is that? Is that a Saturday?
Saturday the 16th, yeah, and that's, I'm flexible with that if Sunday's better for anyone.
Greg, I have the 16th as a Sunday.
You have it saved as the Sunday? Is that the?
The 16th is a
Oh
Sunday.
yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. The 16th is the Sunday. So yeah, so we're shooting for that Sunday. Obviously that's dependent on who can show up, because I'm available, but I can only do so much. There is some bigger pieces of trash.
So do we want to order a dumpster, or do you think it'll fit in the dumpster at the park? And are we allowed to use that, Jeff? Or what should we do for trash?
What kind of trash are you talking about? Is it car parts
So-
or tires or?
Yeah, so I walked that whole Franklin Preserve Trail specifically trying to find trash. And there's some bigger pieces of metal in there. Stuff that, I think it would take a couple people to move it. There's some tires in the woods there. And then other smaller items. I think,
The tires would need to be segregated.
okay, so they would go somewhere else.
But the metal, there is like an old water heater and some more appliance parts, and then
Right.
Mickey Mouse car parts, a bicycle tire hanging on a tree, and,
Yeah.
and hundreds of green tubes. The majority of the bulk is green tubes.
Yeah, and there is trash along Parsons Road there, which is more like, newer trash, plastic and just bottles and stuff that people throw out. So I think if we had a few people or a couple people walk the trail, and work on that stuff, and then maybe a few more people work on the tubes and the heavier items further down on that hedgerow. Maybe I was thinking if we could just pull it all out of the woods there and set it next to like that path that goes all the way down to the tubes. If we have a big truck or a pickup truck or something, we could just kind of line that pathway with trash and then pick it up. Go down, get the tubes, then pick up the rest of the trash.
But then do what with it? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not taking it home in my truck.
Oh, no, I just need, that's where I don't know what we do, especially those big items.
What I would recommend is if it can be piled in a central location where we can get a medium-sized dump truck to, then we can load it up and then use our recycling credits and take it to the landfill.
Okay. Do you think we could get a dump truck like down that pathway?
So I hate to spend money on yard works to pick it up after we just picked it up. So how about this? How about we have yard works park their small dump truck down the pathway and we load it? Would that be all right?
Now, you say down the pathway, where do you mean, Paul?
The pipeline driveway.
I can ask him.
So the majority of the bulk is down at the tree planting. So the closest he can get to the tree planting, the better, but he might not want to go off the asphalt.
He might not, because I know it can be muddy and wet.
Yeah, that's his decision. But then
Yeah,
we would do what Greg's saying is we would load the tubes in a pickup truck and then bring them up to the dump truck at the pipeline station.
Yeah, that's fine.
And Jeff, I don't know if we discussed this before, but are these tubes the ones that at least are reusable? Can we store them somewhere at the township for future plantings, or?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We could probably find an area underneath the, I call it the lean-to next to the office building. where we're keeping probably 5 or 6 old picnic tables.
Okay.
So
So-
depending on what you have, I think we could probably find space for it. 50 to 100.
So to keep it neat, Greg, we could bundle them. We need some rope, some twine and bundle them. And,
Okay.
and they're designed to be stackable. So each tube is a different diameter on purpose so that you can insert one into the other up to 3 or 4, I forget. So you could stack quite a bit.
Okay.
If we just chucked them in there, it would become a mess pretty fast, I think.
Right. Kind of like how it is right now.
How it is right now.
All right. All right.
But-
So yeah, I know Jennifer, you said as long as, you guys are healthy, you think that weekend might work for you guys as well?
Yeah, right now we don't have anything on our schedule. That's just assuming. I don't, Paul, you weren't on the call. I have one who has COVID now, so just assuming it doesn't spread. And that they're not.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
and my husband is a pickup truck, so if he's available, then, I'm assuming if the kids come, then, he'll be there.
Does he have 4-wheel drive?
It does have 4-wheel drive, yeah.
Yeah, that'll work.
It's not a big pickup truck, though. It's a Ridgeline, so it doesn't hold a lot, but we could just make more trips.
Yep.
Okay. And yeah, if anyone else is available, I don't think we need a ton of people, but I don't know. What do you think? 5, 6 people, maybe?
What time, Greg?
What's good for you guys? I'm pretty open. I could do morning. Whatever works for everyone.
Morning's good, but then it's a Sunday, you might lose some churchgoers, and then it's winter time, so it might be cold. It might be better to wait till it warms up a little, but then you're into lunchtime. So
Right. And I hate to say it, but the Eagles might be on too. People might not want to go if they're
No,
in the playoff.
that's a great point. What time would they play? 1?
Yeah, I think it's still. I think that would be in the playoffs. So that could be, but that's the schedule. I don't think is out yet. So we wouldn't know until this upcoming weekend. I know for them.
You just want to wait till this weekend, Greg, and send an email out? Pick like 3 or
Yeah,
4
yeah. I
hours?
mean, at least we have a date. And again, we could also do Saturday if that still works for you guys or is
No,
easier.
That's for me. I'd have basketball on Saturday, so that's less.
Okay. So Sunday's better. All right. So we'll stick with the 16th. And then we can, determine the date or the time when we get closer.
That's not Martin Luther King weekend, is it?
It is. So schools
It
are
is.
Monday.
You going away?
Yeah, I'm going away.
Uh-oh. All right. Well, what do you guys, you want to reschedule another date? Push it back, or do you?
Well, you don't have to reschedule for me. I don't mind you cleaning up trash without me.
I don't mind. I just can't do it all myself. So hopefully,
We
I don't
can
know, Jeff.
we can pack that little Volt tight.
yeah,
Sure.
right. I can barely fit a tree tube in my car.
Do you just want to play it by ear and decide next weekend? Only just more because I'm not sure who's going to be staying in
Yeah.
the house, who's going to be.
Yeah,
I don't want to promise something. I never would have thought she would have got COVID. She hasn't left the house in 5 days. I didn't know how she could have got it, but so I don't
Yeah,
want
that's
to
fine.
promise something.
let's, I guess, wait a week, see how everyone's feeling.
And
And
we
then,
can maybe get
check-
a look at the weather too.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll revisit this in a week or so. All right. Okay, so moving on, the playground equipment. So I know we've kind of discussed this in the past. Jeff and Donna and I went out and met with, I forget the guy's name, but he's from the playground equipment company.
Mr. Moore.
Mr. Moore. And I know we've kind of discussed that, the equipment is functional but dated. But there seems to be a lot of interest with the supervisors in upgrading and updating some of the equipment. So I'll share my screen here and I can pull up the email. Let's see here. All right. All right, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so what we went over was basically replacing a couple items. One of them was that spinner. I think somebody referred to it as the death spinner. So, and Donna mentioned that that would be her top priority. I don't know why that's like, can you see that? It's on like the bottom of my screen.
Yeah, it's on the bottom.
All right, I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe I can zoom. There we go. So this is the item that they have that's kind of an updated, nicer version. It's called a 10 spin. And this would be, a decent replacement for what is there, which is that metal one with the bars around it. This one's, to me, seems like a much safer option. And I'll go back to what he said here. So the 10 spin would fit in the space where he calls it the red whirl currently sits. He did say we would have to relocate one of the spring riders. So that would be a little extra work. I'll just highlight where I'm looking here. So that's that option. I think it's a good option. I think it's, adds a little more interest and makes it a little nicer there. And as far as cost wise, I believe, I don't know if he had that in this email. Let's see here. No. Jeff, did you have the numbers on handy of what he said on that?
I do not, Greg. I don't have good access to my emails at work.
All right.
So I can certainly supply that to you tomorrow.
I thought it was on this email, but apparently not. Let me see if I jotted. Nope. All right. Well, just keep that in mind. We can check back on the actual numbers. The other item we were discussed was replacing the metal climbing area, which is in like the northwestern part of the tot lot. And these are the recommendations and things that kind of piqued our interest. So it's I don't know if it's a string or a nylon climbing rope in there. Just a little more, a little more updated, a little more interesting. So that was one option. This was the other option. I think you called them the gravity cube and the gravity something or other.
How much are they? They look expensive.
Yeah, so good question. Let's see if could have sworn he had that in there.
That whirly thing's like what, $8,000 or something? But that
I think it was.
That climbing thing must be 15.
I think it was a little less than that, but you could be right. Let me see. So sorry guys, here's the actual catalog. Let's see if it's in there. And he gave me a hard copy of the catalog, so I can kind of flip through here. Let's see here. Play components. Yeah, it's a big catalog, so I don't really want to have to flip through every single page. Let me just see if I can find it real quick on my thing, on my book here. All right, here we go. So the 10 spin is 3,000. This says approximate price 3,250. So that was the first thing I showed you.
Yeah.
Let's
Is that installed?
see. I don't know why I can't find his email that gives us pricing.
Just,
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm keeping.
I was just gonna say, just for conversation's sake, I don't believe it does include installation.
Okay. So Gravity Cube in this catalog is 10,740 is for the other one I showed you. So let me just close these. And that's the catalog price. So this was the first one, the 3,200. And where's the other one? This one or this one is the other one for 10,740. So the other thing we were looking at was doing, and Paul, you had mentioned this before, doing something like a zip line.
Yeah, I would be in favor of adding a zip line rather than removing usable equipment just because we want to change it. Because that seems silly since the children outgrow everything in 4 years. You know, they don't care. It's all new to them. But I would be interested in adding something. That would be more appealing to me anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
Although
So
this
the
one
zip
looks like
line,
go ahead.
yeah, I was going to say, so we were looking at this, and obviously this takes up a good amount of space. And Jeff did some background work on looking to see if it could go where the septic system, that big flat grassy area in between the pickleball and the tot lot, and it will not work there. They did not recommend us putting anything there. So that, you know, this needs to be on a flat surface, obviously. And we also kind of looked at to the east side of the tot lot, but that slopes down towards the cell tower area. So yeah, I agree. It would be nice to, you know, add this or another piece of equipment. It's just a matter of where would we add the stuff.
Well, you know,
This
the other
would-
thing is maybe it's too far away, but I was thinking about that flat area down there by the lower pavilion. Because I've seen people play Frisbee there or ball, and people
Like all the
do-
way down you're
families
talking
do
about?
use it for pickups. Yeah, it's just a thought. It's just a nice area. I don't know. I'm not saying it's the best thought.
Yeah, I mean, that could be an option. I do remember, you know, the guy was saying that if it's a family with a couple kids, you know, they want to make sure they're all visible from the same area.
Oh, I know.
But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, we're limited in that space. So
I think we could find a place to put it up there, but you know, I agree. We wouldn't want to put on top of a septic field, but I think there's somewhere we can put it there.
Well, I reached out to the Chester County Health Department, sent them our permit. And I got a call today. They don't recommend us putting it anywhere in that area. He told me he called it a no-go zone. So,
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm agreeing with you.
oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so, that kind of, we don't really have much to work with there.
No, I still think there's some place to put it there, but I'd have to go look around to make sure. But anyway,
Yeah,
it all comes down to pricing. How much would the zip line be? And I've never seen a double zip line. I was wondering if they have a single one that's more affordable, but
yeah, so this one has the, this is for the ADA, I guess, is that what you would call it, on the left side?
Yes.
And then the right side is your standard one. I don't recall if he said there was a single one, but that would definitely, shrink the footprint of it. So yeah, and the other, I remember he was mentioning that all these pieces of equipment have to have, there's a standard fall zone that they need around them.
yeah, sure. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think this was just his, yeah. So maybe that is just the single glide along, he calls it.
What's the length? I can't read it. It's too small.
That says 58 and 3/4.
So,
or
so
3.5.
maybe the ride is like 40 feet, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and then 25 on the vertical. Oh crap, I just closed my email. So anyway, I don't know if you guys still need to see anything from there.
So do
but
you have prices on those three?
thought we did. But I'm not seeing anything in my emails from him as far as pricing, but he definitely, I thought,
I
sent
think-
over.
Yeah, I can check tomorrow with it and then I can update him about the zip line too. Because I just heard today from the health department on that.
Okay, yeah, so we'll have to work on confirming that pricing. I'm just scrolling through my emails real quick one more time. But yeah, I mean, he definitely sent something at some stage with the installation costs. So I don't know where it went. So anyway, that's where we're at. Unfortunately, I don't have that cost, so we can't really make a final decision there. But did anyone else have any comments otherwise?
Let me take a quick look if I have some installation costs here.
All right, I'm going to keep searching while you're doing that.
So we spent at the Little League, we spent 26,000 on equipment and 18,000 on installation. So what is that, like 75%?
And was that how much equipment was it? Was it like one piece or?
And this was from Lions, same guy.
Oh, okay.
Lions Recreation. It was the same 10 spin. We paid 2,400 for it, by the way.
Oh, wow.
So you can go sit on one up at the Little League field if you want to go try it out.
Yeah.
And we paid $18,000 for a jungle gym looking thing, similar to the one that's currently at the tot lot there. And then a couple of like the single spring rider things and a walking beam thing, you know, the little stuff,
Mhm.
and 2 benches for sitting at the edges.
Okay.
And then $1,800 of mulch, $600 of freight, 15,500 to put it in.
Okay.
So total
Well-
project was 46,800.
Wow.
So if you think about it, $26,000 worth of equipment resulted in $46,000 total cost. So the equipment is 60% of the total project. So if you got a $10,000 piece of equipment for that spider thing, you know, I would assume it's going to be an $18,000 or $16,000 project.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it's a big cost. You know, it's kind of, and I think we voted on this before, and we were kind of, you know, as a board, we were at the thought of, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised you guys went out there. Was Donna pushing this, or you know, what's?
it's
'Cause I
been,
mean-
yeah, Donna's definitely interested. I mean, I know Mary's not on the board anymore. She was super interested. It seemed like the whole board was on board for doing
Well,
it.
it's you know, it's easy stuff to do. It's political stuff. I just always think we have other things to spend money on right now. But you know, we work for the board. So if there's enough
Right.
board people saying let's go do it, then we'll find something to go spend money on. But I got
Yeah, that's
other
kind of
thoughts.
how I looked at it.
Yeah, I agree.
Were they thinking of using the COVID money to cover this? Didn't you say something about that?
Yeah, and maybe you're right. Maybe they have an opportunity to spend some COVID money too, and that's why they're pushing it.
Yeah, I think, and I could be wrong. I don't know, Jeff, if you want to correct me, but I believe that we weren't able to use COVID money for that.
I don't believe you can right now. They're in the interim final stage of what it can and can't be used on. So I wouldn't want to commit that money to that right now, meaning saying it would definitely be COVID money. I think we need to wait on that.
Yeah. And I'm reading his email, like the email I pulled up, it says I have the pricing for these items below, but I don't see the actual pricing. He also said, I think we would be best served to see what the sale flyer offers in early January. So maybe when we check back with him, you know, they'll have some sale items, and
What's
We
the
can
date of that email?
that was December 23rd. That was right after the meeting.
Let's see if I go back that far on my phone.
He said they typically have the 10 spin included, and we could see what other items they might offer at a discounted rate.
My phone doesn't go back that far for emails.
Okay.
Well, if you could, let's come back with pricing on the 3 items, and we need installation as well. Maybe he's provided that, and then we could talk about what to do with it.
I do remember him saying it would be CoStar's pricing. I asked him that a couple times.
Okay. All right.
What was your price on the 10 spin, just out of curiosity? What'd you say?
The one in catalog,
Yeah.
I believe I said 3250,
And the Little League paid 2,400.
2400. And how long ago was that?
I don't remember. I'm just going to find the date. March of 19.
So a couple years, well, 3 years now, I guess.
Right before
Yeah.
COVID started.
Yeah.
That's the COVID increase price. All right.
I will say Lions was not an easy vendor to work with. It was not.
Okay.
I've always found him to be helpful, Jeff Moore. I don't know who you dealt with.
I don't see a name on here. You know what it was though? We didn't use him for installation. We found a vendor that Matt Thompson installs playground equipment. And we used him at like a half the cost or something. And I think that angered the Lions guy. So he would not play ball anymore. Like it was funny. All right. So I don't need to air all the dirty laundry. Let's keep going.
All right, so yeah, we'll work on squaring up what the actual costs are, and I guess we can see how we feel at that stage. All right, moving on. So we brought this up before and we never really made any decision or progress with it, but I guess it was a couple months ago, the township resident was interested in conservation of property. We were reached out to by Natural Lands. I guess they spoke with them first. And the last we heard, Jack sent an email.
So can we discuss this more openly in an executive session? Like at the end of this meeting, we just turn off the feed. Is that possible?
I'm fine with that. I don't know what anyone else has to say.
So for everyone who didn't catch on, so this is an opportunity for land preservation, and we as a group have to consider it and give a feedback to the resident to say whether we want to do it or not, or support them, or whatever direction we want to give them, right? But I'd like to show the property on the map, and so I don't want to identify it right now in public. Is that all right?
Works for me.
All right.
All right, yeah, so we'll
Do you need me to sign off?
No, Dawn, you're a board member, so it doesn't matter. It's because there's no public on, right? But we have to stop the recording. So let's finish any other business you might have.
I was gonna say, while we're here, I can stop the live stream. You two can announce, someone can announce you're going in executive session, and we won't be live streamed because the YouTube symbol will disappear in the upper left-hand corner. It's up to you guys.
But let's finish the rest of the meeting though. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Any other topics there? Great.
yeah, we have some other stuff. So yeah, we can get through that and then we'll switch it.
Let's do it at the end, right?
All right. So next up is new business. So it was brought to my attention that I guess as of the new year, we are supposed to pose the option for board nominations. Correct me if I'm not saying that correctly, but so where I'm at is, I guess we just open up the floor and see.
All right, I nominate Greg Sachs to be chairman.
I'll second that, even though I'm not allowed to.
I'll second that.
All right.
Can I
Overruled.
nominate that everybody who is already on the board can just stay on who already has a position, just keep those positions?
Sure, why not?
Yeah,
I'm not trying to put you guys on the spot, but you guys are doing a great job, so we rock the boat.
yeah, there's only 3 positions, correct? Chair, vice chair, and secretary.
Correct.
So we have to, if Kyle's doing a great job on the secretary, if she's willing to keep doing that, that's awesome. And then Jim, I think you're vice chair. You still want to do that? Because I've been supporting Greg a lot. I can take it on, but I don't think our roles change very much. I think I angered him.
You there, Jim?
You
Yeah, I
unmute
think
Jim.
I'm here.
There you
Okay.
are. There you
We
are.
hear you.
I didn't hear you at first.
I don't care either way. I can continue it, or if you'd like to take it, that's fine too.
Yeah, it just seems to be a title with no
Yeah,
effect.
unless Greg can't make a meeting.
Yeah, that's basically, that's what I was gonna say. If you,
Well, I can be vice chair then. I think that'd be good.
Okay.
all right. So,
Kyle, are you okay with?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, great. You're doing good. You probably work the hardest there with that.
Yeah, and I feel bad, Kyle, that you keep getting stuck with it. I sit behind a computer all day, the thought of sitting behind a computer to type. But if you ever have to miss a meeting, I'd be happy to fill in for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I can't envision like how many more hours I'm sitting in front of the computer, and you do such a great job. I'm not that detail oriented, so we appreciate you, Kyle.
Thanks.
yeah, I also appreciate you, Kyle. Appreciate the work you're doing.
But wait, I don't know how this works. Do you have to publicly open this up for nomination? Like since our 2 years is up?
So from what I read, and maybe Jeff or anyone else, Paul, you know better, but in the actual ordinance, I think the Board of Supervisors would do that if they were going to replace anyone on our board.
Well,
Here's the way I understand it. Today, you have to do chairman, vice chairman, and secretary. And then come May, and don't hold me to this, you're gonna have 2 positions up. And I believe Kyle is one and Eli is the second one. So the board would deal with that at their April or May meeting.
can you show that, Greg? Do you have that email handy? Just to help people?
The actual ordinance you're talking about?
Yeah, with the name.
I have it printed out. Well, the actual names I found on the website, on the township website. But yeah, I remember.
It was
looking
helpful
at
to
it.
see it, to explain to everybody why we have staggered. Everybody has what is the term? 6-year or 5-year, 4-year? Every position has a 6-year term. Let's just say it's 6 years. But since we all started this commission new, we can't all start with a 6-year term because then everyone would leave at the same time. So they staggered our dates just so that 2 of us would leave at any one time. But once that person is reelected in May, it would be for a 6-year term, the full term.
Whatever the actual first term was, they would be reelected for that same amount.
No, they would now be for a full 6-year term.
Oh, wow.
Because if you only did it for a 2-year term again, then you would have an opportunity when 6s and 2s all lined up, half the board would leave. So you have to, everybody now does a 6-year term so that in perpetuity, our terms are staggered.
Okay, so I'm 3. So I think Mary and I are 3. So there's some 2, some 3, some 4, some 5.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the stupid thing.
I can look back. I have the original.
All I can find is pictures of pickleball.
But for today, we just need to nominate a chair, vice chair, and a secretary.
Yeah, so today, nobody's expiring today. Today is just organizational meeting.
Yes.
Gotcha. I have the ordinance number if that helps you, but it doesn't actually, that doesn't list the names in it.
Yeah, Jennifer and I are 3 years, Eli and Kyle are 2 years, Paul and Mary are 5 years, and Greg's 4 years.
So
Yeah, and 5 is the maximum. So even
5
if,
is the max.
yeah, so it's not 6, it's 5. So Kyle, she'll rerun again in May, and we will and hopefully she'll get a re-election for 5 more after that.
That's right. That's how it works. So, and at that point, it would be if anyone from the public wants to be nominated or considered, then that's when we would do that.
Right.
Do
Okay.
you have the ordinance, Greg?
I have it on a piece of paper that I printed out.
Yeah, I do too.
But yeah, it's right. I have it here in front of me.
So it's 2020-02.
Right. Yep.
Okay, so
Yep.
can I just make a, whatever you call it, to have Greg, now Paul, and Kyle take on the positions of chair, vice chair, and secretary?
Yeah, I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed?
How about you, Mr. German?
I was back on mute. Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right.
Greg, you sent me that document. Was it, maybe it was a text or something. That's why I can't find it. I'll bet that's what it was.
Maybe.
All right, I'll stop looking.
Okay. All right. Let me find, I'm getting all my papers mixed up now. All right. So that's that. Just another quick announcement. There is going to be a second round of maintenance at Peacedale Preserve. Last time Paul and I both attended, and there was a good amount of other people that showed up. And that's scheduled for this weekend, this Saturday, or the 8th. Is that Saturday? Yeah,
Wait,
Saturday from 9 to 11:30 again.
My audio cut out. Can you say it again?
Yeah, so second round of tree maintenance at Peacedale Preserve. It's scheduled for this Saturday from 9 to 11:30. And as Paul knows, they were providing hot chocolate and some goodies as well.
That's the 8th.
That's the 8th, yeah. Yeah, they said we got through about 200 trees last time, and there's probably thousands more that need to be attacked to get rid of all the invasives. So I actually went, go ahead.
I was going to say, I was out there last weekend and I see they mowed another 200 trees.
Right, yeah, I did see that too. Yeah, so if anyone's interested or knows anyone interested, you can get out there, get some volunteer hours. All right, next, so back to this ordinance. So I was reading
Wait.
through it. Yeah.
Wait, could we, for the volunteers, Jennifer, doesn't your daughter need hours? And
Yeah, so unfortunately, we're on, Anna has COVID right now, so Tess is under quarantine because of Anna. So I'm not
Well-
sure when she gets out.
no, but I knew that. But where I was going is, what school is that requires her to have hours? Because I want more kids. Like I want to tell that school we have an opportunity.
Oh, I could definitely tell. She goes to Mount Olivet, and my high schooler goes to St. Mark. So I'm not sure if the public schools require it, but I know all the Catholic schools require a lot of service hours.
Ah, okay.
So I definitely won't. I mean, I could ask him to put it in the newsletter at the elementary school. Unfortunately, the high school is a little harder to get to. It has to be like go on an app, and you have to like have like a presentation. It's kind of like what you guys go through with the Boy Scouts and stuff. It's a little harder to get into.
Well, so, it was pretty thorny and nasty stuff we were dealing with. So I wouldn't want real little kids in there, but
Yeah. I don't know that you would honestly want anybody from a school like to encourage them right now, because apparently like 1/3 of the school has COVID.
okay, forget it.
I'm just like telling you, I this Omicron is just, and I mean, I know Jeff and I are both worried about it, and he's been on a high alert, but I can't even figure out how my daughter got it. She's miserable because we didn't let her do anything, and then now is mad at us because she still got it. So
It's gotta be
it's Omicron. It's just
school.
so
It's gotta be school.
she hadn't got back to school yet.
Oh, well, then I don't know.
So she was like so excited to go back to school because she finally was gonna get out of the house, and then still got it. So, but yeah, but I know Tessa really liked doing the outdoor stuff. So as soon as she's available, I will get her working on the trails.
And Paul, I will mention that I know my nephew, he goes to Avon Grove Charter, and he also is required to do service or volunteer hours.
What grade?
So
What grade?
he's in ninth grade.
That would be good, right? A high schooler would be good.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I
how do
tried
we
to
get the word out? I mean, it's kind of short notice now, but like, I think we're missing an opportunity for labor.
yeah.
Yeah,
it'd
so
be
if
nice.
is there an age you would like to cut off? If you would say seventh grade and higher, I could tell the school to do seventh grade.
What grade was your daughter in?
She's an eighth, but I would say she is more mature than most eighth graders, but
So then ninth grade, say, nine or higher.
okay, but don't exclude my daughter from future stuff. She just is like an old soul.
No, I'm just saying, if we're gonna ask the charter school to advertise it, we would ask them for ninth grade to 12th.
Okay.
But I don't know anybody in the charter school. Do you have a connection, or how do we get the word out? And maybe it doesn't work out for this Saturday, Greg, but like you said, there's another 1,000 trees that we're gonna have future events, right?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I don't know if natural lands would allow it, but maybe we could schedule, our own volunteer at the preserve there.
Right. I think they would allow any free volunteer labor.
Right. Okay.
But because when I walked last weekend, I walked across the road, and the other planting is just as bad. Like, it needs help too. Well, maybe not as bad, but it needs help.
Yeah, it's more of a mature planning, but yeah, I mean, and like I said, there's a ton of trees that still won't be done this Saturday too.
And I know that's not township, that's national lands. Do they have their own waiver? They make the people sign, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just signed one. Yeah, I just signed it in the parking lot.
And I have a whole bunch of old waivers, Jeff. Is it possible for me just to change the date on the waivers if we need them in the future?
Absolutely.
Okay, I just feel bad throwing all this pile of waivers away, so I'll just save the old ones. For the township stuff.
Sorry, I'm just letting my cat out of my room. All right, so yeah, I mean, I have, like I said, my nephew's there. I don't know if that means I have any contact at the school. I could ask his parents, and
Yeah, ask his parents, right?
he might try to steal my idea, my brother, and use it for their township, but we'll see. But yeah, I'll ask them, see what they say. All right, so I'll move on from there. So the last thing I had is, when I was reading through this ordinance, there's a section, and it's number 16-115, and under reporting, it says, the board shall submit an annual report to the supervisors, including an analysis of the adequacy and effectiveness of community recreation areas, facilities, and leadership. So I spoke with a supervisor, and they weren't really aware of that, but they said, basically we can present something at this next meeting, and basically summarize our accomplishments, the total costs of our projects, and our future goals. So that's where we're at. I kind of found more work that we were supposed to do by accident. So I don't, I guess we just basically have to go through all of our projects and come up with, what we've accomplished, what we spent, and, what we're going to do going forward.
So I would think for the budget, the township would know better than any of us on what we spent, right? Well, without Joan, maybe Jeff could help us with that part.
Okay.
If you have specific questions, Greg, send myself and Melissa an email regarding the budget.
Well, is there like an individual bucket called the pro budget or park budget or something that?
There's an individual category.
Yeah, so just give us a listing of what we spent on what, like the tennis courts and the pickleball and seal coating and all that. And that would be a good start, Greg, to take care of your finance section.
Okay. And then I guess I'll try to, I mean, I guess this is gonna fall on me to put this together. but-
Well, let's help you right now and brainstorm and just throw out, everyone can remember some 5 things and we'll get 99% of it, right?
Yeah, and I actually, I don't know, a couple months ago, started making a list of some of our accomplishments, just because we have gone through a good amount of stuff. So yeah, I mean, if you guys, I mean, I can go through my list, or how do you want to?
Yeah, go ahead. You have it on the screen?
No, I'm old school. I write everything down.
Come on, dude.
I still have my calendar like this. But no, all right. So I mean, I can read them to you. So, well, we have the memorial trees installed. So 7 of those have been installed. I didn't write any costs. I mean, these are just things that we've accomplished. We rescheduled the mowing on the preserves and the parks, which, has cut back on cost as far as mowing.
To reduce
not
cost
much.
and promote meadow growth.
Right, habitat, yeah, all that. Yeah, that's, that was the real focus is that. See what else here. Pickleball courts expanded from 1 court to 3 courts. The seal coating of the driveway, parking lot, basketball court. The signage that was added at the 2 intersections for the park. The water fountain replaced.
Can you change that to like wayfinding signage or something? Some other description of that signage, crossing park, directional sign. I don't know, because we're gonna have a lot of signage projects.
Right. Okay. Water fountain replaced and dog fountain added.
Yep.
We introduced the yoga class, which was a very successful event over the season. That's all I had at this.
Movie night.
What was that? Oh yeah, movie night was another one.
That's we don't want to take credit for your project there.
Yeah, I think that's why I
Did you
didn't
say
put it on there.
resurface of the tennis court? No, you said pickleball. I'm not sure you said tennis.
No, I think you're right. I didn't put that on there.
The basketball courts got repainted, cleaned up, re-netted.
Tennis courts. Yeah, that was, I mean, that was more of the FSA.
Yeah, but it's.
Yeah, but
came from us.
it's at your direction, right? So at your request.
All right,
You
so
have-
hold on. So basketball courts were repainted,
The goals were repainted, backboards.
repainted backboards. Did you
And-
say re-netted too? Did we
Assuming
put
that
new
new
nets
nets
on
were
there?
put on.
New
At
net,
the time
I'm
everything
sorry, you
was
said
cleaned
yeah?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, just general maintenance to the rest of the playground equipment. That was painted, cleaned up, broken equipment, swings were replaced, the healing gardens.
right.
No.
Healing
That was-
garden.
A lot of little things.
How could you forget the healing gardens?
Well, I didn't add that because it's not really a completed project. It's-
No,
it's-
but
But
we've
it's
completed
done
a phase of it.
significant-
Yeah, FSA
True.
cleaned it up and then signature started on the work.
Yeah, and you've
Okay.
got the design done, and you should list the progress there.
Okay, I'll add that in there.
I mean, would you say
Yeah.
it's probably at least 50% done?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Phase.
need plants.
You have
Okay.
Mary's mapping.
yeah, remap the trails. Like
Remap.
it made, I don't know how you want to say it, but it made progress mapping trails.
Right, yeah, because we had no map of Franklin
In-
Preserve.
Yeah, in Crosson and Franklin, right?
Have we done mapping for Carson? I mean,
Yeah, all the
it's-
trails Matt added in the woods. I added all them. I walked all them with the GPS guy.
Oh, okay, so she added those as well.
That's right.
Okay,
And
Okay.
there's just a general, an item for lots of trail cleanups, trail maintenance, tree removal, all that stuff that we do week to week during the summer and season.
I didn't add the Ryan's Eagle Scout trees and bluebird boxes either.
Yeah, because we're not doing that work, but you're facilitating all
We're
that.
facilitating it. Yeah, good work.
Right. Okay.
And then work with Matt Thompson to build miles of new trail.
So trails added.
And how about Paul's work to work on the Auburn property?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Facilitated preserving a 15-acre property.
Yeah, Greg, we're just going through all your old agendas. That's how we're figuring all this out.
Yeah.
Just look at the old minutes, Greg.
Yeah, I'm looking at your agendas because they're all lined up like for each project.
You have Paul's Bridge too.
Yeah, Paul's Bridge at Banffshire.
Yeah, I'm not proud of that one. So we got the foundations in.
We need a sign that says Paul's Bridge. We need to work on that for signage.
I got a grant. I was successfully getting a grant this year for
That's huge.
$5,500.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you guys can think of?
I mean, just general trail work and volunteer work, with cleaning up.
Right. Trail maintenance, volunteering.
But these are all things that they didn't have before they had the pro.
Oh, hey,
Right.
how about your guy cutting vines and invasives around the perimeter of the park?
Yeah, I did have that on here. I didn't go over that because I wasn't sure if we were. We facilitated it, so it's us.
That's right. If you and your group wasn't there, none of that would happen. So that's why
Right.
you get credit for it.
Right. Okay. So yeah, we've done a lot. All right. Well,
How about the new meadow experiment out by the front gate?
Okay.
I think Greg is the only one that knows this. I haven't had a chance to tell anyone else, but Dave Hocking and Kenny Roberts have given a verbal okay to cut the preserves in August of this year one time under the same deal.
So that's great. But when I walked the Franklin Preserve last weekend, I'm really worried about the poison hemlock is already starting to grow, and it's January.
Yeah, I agree. I think that needs to be tackled. And I talked to Matt Thompson about that too. It seems that if you mow it right before it's going to go to flower, he was saying that's the way to get it.
I agree. And I was thinking, Jeff, when you bring in your Penn State lady to survey the fields, do you do that every year?
Unfortunately, she retired.
Well, does her replacement come in? No?
No,
All right.
we've
So
gone another way.
if there's some other person that we use to consult on our fields, if they could give us advice on what to do with that poison hemlock, that would be appreciated, because I'm no expert on it. But I agree that all I would know is to mow it. Otherwise, we did spray Goodwin with a chemical one year because the farmers were complaining of all the invasives, and that might be an option.
Yeah. So I talked to Matt, who seemed to know a good amount. And I also talked to Steve, who does all the a bunch of invasive. They both were in this same mind frame of that if you just mow it at the right time, that would work. I mean, obviously you could spray it, but that's a big field that you're spraying.
Yeah.
The good thing is that it seems to be really in just that one big field. Like it hasn't migrated to the next meadow.
Right, but it will if we don't do something. So
right. Yeah, I agree.
Jeff saying they're going to mow once a year reminded me, I think in that area we need to mow more often.
Yeah, I agree. I think we just need to nail down exactly when it does go to flower and just get it right before that, and then monitor it from there.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a good point, and we definitely got to keep an eye on that.
And one more is Jeff, we cleared that temporary parking lot in Franklin. It cost us a lot of money to clean that up for use, but now I see that Yardworks is dumping waste in that parking lot again. So my request is that they dump the waste over the hump and into the gully, or I don't know what you call it, but beyond the parking area. Do you know what I mean? Jeff?
It will be pushed back. They couldn't do it at the time because it was so wet, but that's something we're gonna add to their schedule when it makes sense and
Yeah, but
doesn't cost us a lot of money.
for future dumping, just have them drive past the parking area and dump a little bit lower, not on the parking area, would be my suggestion. Then we don't have to push it. Right?
Okay.
One more thought is, Jeff, in that same parking area, there's 2 telephone poles and a wire that comes from the street. The wire is disconnected at the pole. It's not live. Disconnected at the street, I mean. But the telephone pole is being held up by a branch. And so it's dangerous, like it could fall over. So maybe Jimmy could look at just cutting it down with a chainsaw or something. I don't know. You know
We'll
what I mean?
look at it.
I'll leave it to you guys what to do with it, but I just want to bring it up as a safety item. It's not good to have the wires and the poles kind of hanging there. I mean, if it's a good pole, we might be able to use it for a bridge or something. I just don't want it to fall on somebody.
And
And why I don't want to cut the pole down is because when the wire goes across the street, even though it's disconnected electrically, it's still connected, fastened to the pole. That's why I didn't want to tackle it.
Did it, or is it electric or Verizon or?
The wire of concern is electric.
and
So
where is that?
you know, the Franklin Preserve driveway where we had temporary parking?
Right.
The wire comes in over that driveway and goes in for 2 pole lengths.
Mm-hmm.
I can't guarantee that I'll be able to be successful, but let me see if I can tug at Pico and see if I can get them to donate some time.
Yeah, they just need to disconnect it from the pole. Like I said, the wire is not connected, but the support cable is connected.
But if they took the wire down, you wouldn't be upset with that.
Right. All that wire can be recycled. You know, that's good wire, but
Well, let me see what I can get them to do. I'd rather
Okay.
ask for more and then,
yeah, that's a good
you
one.
know,
Yeah, just have them disconnect it and drop it onto our property, and then we can take it from there.
yeah, I'll try and reach out to my contact and then I'll let you guys know how I make out.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's it. Thanks.
Okay. And that just, when we were talking about the Franklin Preserve and the maintenance there, I noticed that there's some bamboo growing right on the edge there. I don't know if anyone's seen that.
Where is it?
It's right as you drive in Crossan Park on that left, like right where the fence kind of ends, the fence you were talking about removing.
I didn't notice. Yeah.
Yeah, so somebody started chopping it down. I don't know if it might have been Steve. So I had my cutters and I went through and cut the rest of it. I don't know, how well that's going to do from keeping it from resprouting. I've never actually addressed bamboo, thankfully, but there is a small patch in there, right on that wood's edge, right as you get into Crossan on your left. So it's just something to keep an eye on.
My experience with bamboo is cutting it, it just sprouts up from the roots. So you have to spray it or something.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. All right, well, that's something maybe I can talk to Steve about. I'm sure he's probably worked on that before.
Yep.
But it's definitely something to be concerned about because that's some nasty stuff. All right, well, that's all the items I had. So I know we wanted to do this property offline. Did anyone else have any other topics before we get to that? Okay. I'm not hearing anything, so if we can we stop the recording and,
But what
That'd
I
be
would do
public-
is, what I would
Public
do,
comment, Greg.
oh, yeah, I can do, well, I don't know if we actually have any public members, but yeah,
here's what I would do. I would say you're going into executive session and you're going to adjourn the meeting for today.
Okay,
And then I can shut off YouTube.
all right. So without any public members, there will be doesn't look like there's any public comment, so we will now adjourn